Pixar, known for its classics such as Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, Toy Story, and WALL-E, to its newer classics such as What If Dead People Had Emotions? What If Souls Had Emotions? What If Elements Had Emotions? And their latest, What If Emotions Had Emotions Part 2. That's right, Inside Out 2 has just dropped, and just like Pixar's recent releases, most people are saying the film is good, but the film is not Pixar good. What does that mean? Welcome back to Quiet on Set. My name is Lockie, and as always, I'm joined by the biggest Pixar fanboy, Ewan.
Hello, that's just by my scale and my width, not really by my fandom. I feel like that still belongs to Studio Ghibli, but Pixar's pretty great too. But like you said, can it live up to the heights when it does, when they mainly do sequels, or is something lost?
Is something lost? Like emotions. Emotions are lost. And in Pixar's Inside Out 2, many emotions are lost on the journey that they go on, and it is quite a simple one. So I think narratively, I would say the film is quite simple and it's not as engaging as what the previous film was. You don't really have two main characters. You've got all five of the classic emotions going up head to head with some of the newer emotions, which is making this seem
Civil
like
War.
a civil war. So Inside Out, Civil War, I like where we're going here. But that causes a lot of characters to follow and a lot of characters to develop, especially because there's 5 new ones, or 4 new ones, I think. Ewan, what do you think of the narrative?
I think that one's a bit lackluster because it's essentially even more of just a MacGuffin chase of getting somewhere, bringing something back, and that should all solve it. And I feel like the story then becomes more about finding yourself, and it's very similar to the first one, which essentially came to the same conclusion that this one is going to. We're going to stay spoiler free in this review, but it's pretty much the same narrative wise as the first one, plus you have a lesser focus on less characters because there's just more of them. And I don't know if that ultimately works to the benefit of the film.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the film has moments, and those moments are really good and really engaging. Like, I think the humor is dead on with the entire film. I just don't think the film flows in a way that's engaging from a narrative standpoint. It's just kind of, here's a moment, here's another moment, here's this moment, here's this moment, and they're sort of connected like a tiny piece of string. As it is an animated movie, visually, it is all digitally created, which means they can craft every single pixel from screen to screen to be exactly what they think. Ewan, what did you think visually of the film?
It looked stunning. It didn't have as much of a showcase as something like Elemental had, where they really got to shine with those different elements. I don't know how much you can just visualize emotions differently. I think where it's really clever is in the jokes, when maybe there's a slightly different animation style in there. That stuff feels quite clever and well made. And I gotta say, the humor definitely is one, but there's no momentum that carries you from scene to scene, and it makes it hard to be super engaged with the film the whole way through, when it's just like highlights spliced in between. And I was actually more engaged with the hockey part of the story, as I'm a bit more of a hockey fan myself. And I wanted to get less of the emotional side. I just wanted to get the story of Riley and less about the inner workings of her mind.
Yeah, I actually agree with you, because for me, visually, Elemental is better, but they've obviously got like water physics and fire physics that do make it more interesting, where these guys don't really have any sort of effects on them other than sort of towards the end with like some particle effects. But I think that the hockey scenes are pretty visually fun and engaging from just like how they're done, how they're shot, because it's not done in a way that's like over the top. It still feels quite real. And I think there was actually a moment in the film where Riley's head is down, and it's sort of towards the end of the film where she's having a bit of a panic attack, and all of a sudden there's a shot with her head down, sweat coming down, and I thought, that looks really good. Like, that looks like it could get away as being a real life shot until you start to really look at it and you go, oh God. But just that quick shot, I was like, I wouldn't have been surprised if they just like cut in a live action shot and just trolled everybody, because I feel like they could have gotten away with it with how well some scenes are lit and shot. It just looks absolutely spectacular. And other than that, the only other thing with animation is obviously like dialogue. It's all voice acting. It's all people talking. But some famous people. Ewan, did you have any standouts?
I don't know if they really stood out that much. To me, it was fine that they recast Bill Hader and Mindy Kaling in like angst or like fear and disgust. I don't know if there's a standout performance wise. I think that Riley, the kid who plays her, does a really good job. Like I never was taken out by, hey, this is just a kid speaking the lines of an animated character, because that's got to be really hard. So usually, as someone who's critical of kids' performances, I think she delivers one that didn't take me out of the movie, which is like better than most, you know.
Yep, because you hate kids, which is crazy that you like
I do
kids
hate
movies.
kids.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I don't really have any standouts.
Want a third one? Do we want one where she's in college now? Or
Oh, a third one.
do we just?
I
don't think.
yes,
I don't think we do.
I
right?
want nostalgia to
No?
come back. I was super
Nostalgia
hyped every time
was very
nostalgia
fun.
came in.
Yeah.
So I'd be hyped to see, in 10 years' time when nostalgia comes in. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a third one because there's nostalgia to see, and then there's also the deep dark secret that they had as well as one of the characters that they kind of just were like, okay, I'm going back here now, and they didn't continue
Yeah.
with their story with the film. So there's obviously something set up there with Riley's deep dark secret. I wonder what it is. Who would know? We'll see.
Ooh, we don't
but
know
yeah,
yet.
I think the film was pretty good.
They have done that in the past where they did like shorts tied into the films. It's like the
Yeah.
previous gig that the director of this film does was Party Central, a spin-off little short film from Monsters Inc. Here, I feel like, bringing nostalgia back, but it's maybe someone who has dementia and it's like a really old, like it could be a serious short film that you do with someone who's like in elder care, and it's maybe two different emotions that are just like trying to get something out of them, but they're too old. That could be like, I could see Pixar doing something with that. That would be pretty sweet. So I'd much appreciate like smaller little stories that maybe aren't Riley. I think her story is pretty much done, but I thought the same about Toy Story, and we are getting a fifth one, so you never know.
We're getting a fifth one. I gave the film 3 out of 5. Ewan?
A 3.5 for me. So if you want to hear more of our thoughts, we have a full-on deeper dive spoiler review on this week's podcast. That's linked below if you want to check it out. And let us know what you thought of it. And we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Goodbye.